And it's Friday the 13th. I have all my Friday the 13th stuff.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. I don't miss
Welcome,
around,
everybody,
man.
to the DK Project. We have got a special guest with us this week. Zooming in. I'm guessing you're in California, right? You're out there
I am.
rolling with the
Yeah.
big dogs. We've got Adam
you know?
Wylie with us. That's where all the superstars are out in Hollywood. I'm telling you,
True.
from kid superstar to adult superstar, you've done it all, man. I love it. I was going through your stuff, and I'm telling you, we got a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on. Like I said before we got on, I'm recording this. We're gonna put it up on the YouTube channel because
sweet,
you're very recognizable, dude. Like I know
I am.
I know. I mean, somewhere.
Yeah,
I haven't been to Hollywood lately, so we haven't crossed on the street.
That's true. That's true. I mean, I'm very fortunate to have one of those faces.
Yeah,
where everyone is like, "Hey, where do I know you from somewhere?" Sometimes people are like, "You're an actor, right?" And sometimes they're like, "Did you grow up in Idaho?
Wow.
Did you go to a school in Idaho?" I know what it is. You look like my best friend's cousin. I used to play with him every day. My best friend's cousin. Yeah, we were really, really good pals. And then like 3 hours later, wait a minute, you're that guy from Gilmore Girls or what have you, insert project. But yeah, it's wild, man. I have one of those faces and I wouldn't have it any other way. It's super fun.
Well, and I tell you, I could see you doing an Idaho Potato commercial. You've got that look.
I think I have. Like, I'm not going to lie. It wouldn't shock me if someone was like, "You've already done 3 of those." And I'm like, "Yeah, probably. Okay. Yeah, that's great." I don't remember.
Blasted in the comments. I'm looking at your commercial right now. That's awesome.
Right.
You got started a long time ago on Kindergarten Cop and Picket Fences. So how old were you when that came out? Not that you want to date yourself, but
Picket Fences, Kindergarten Cop was before Picket Fences. And even before Kindergarten Cop, I had done so many commercials that it was a little insane. So I started acting in 1988, right? I joined SAG in 1989.
Wow.
When I was the ripe old age of 5. And yeah, I did Kindergarten Cop when I was in kindergarten, when I was 6. Picket Fences started when I was 7.5. By then I was an old vet. And yeah, it just kind of grew and grew and grew. And, I grew up loving performing. Performing has always been what I really feel like I'm called to do. And if I wasn't performing, I don't know what else I'd do. To be honest, I'd be probably some kind of pro athlete.
Sure.
And that would, to me, still involve performing. So I think I was destined to be a performer no matter what, at least an entertainer.
But you started at 5. It really wasn't your decision, right? Your parents were like, "We're going to try this out." And then obviously you fell in love with it. And here we are.
Yeah. So how it all started, one of my brothers, I come from a pretty big family, not huge, but I'm the youngest of 5 kids. And one of my brothers was in the business. He was like a gymnast, actor, singer, dancer kind of guy. Nice. And then later became just a dancer kind of guy. And because that's where his gifts really, really lay, was dancing and also the medical field, but we can get into that later. But he had an agent, and my mom brought me in one day and wanted to keep me the normal one because all of my brothers and my sister, they did something cool, and I was the only one where she was like, no, I can't fit it into the schedule. And of course, my brother's agents were like, "Does he act?" I mean, no, he's 5.
Yeah, right.
Or 4 at this time. I mean, he acts like a child, but he's 4, so that's probably normal. So they said, redheaded kids are a thing. Let's just see what happens. We've sent out a couple commercials. I ended up getting the job from my first print ad for Fisher Price. Unheard of.
Yeah.
And I booked a few more commercials. And my mom said, maybe there's something to this. And as I grew and as I kept doing it, I really enjoyed it. And obviously stuck with it. I know a lot of kids who didn't when they were acting as kids. And, they're like, when I turn 18, man, I'm out. And I was like, yeah, okay.
Oh, really?
That's fine. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's funny. We were talking just before we got on. I had a little dude in here this week who had a big audition and he wanted to use the studio, but same kind of thing where his dad's an actor, and
Yeah.
it's just kind of funneling deals over to him, and he's a cool kid. We had a lot of fun, but it's funny how you don't think of that, because I got in it late, and I'm not really even in it. But to start that young and take it the whole way, because I mean, you're talking, you had to go through school. Did you go to college? I mean,
No,
so,
no. In fact, my later years of high school, when I was 17, my junior and senior year, I completed in 6 months in order to move to New York to have my Broadway debut. So that's what I did. I completed my 2 years of high school in 6 months, even though I already had an high school diploma. That doesn't really matter. I have 2 high school diplomas technically. It's very crazy because I took my GED, passed. That became discredited. I had to go back to school. After I had graduated the second time, my first high school diploma became credited again. So I technically have 2. And then I moved to New York, did my Broadway debut in Into the Woods. Gilmore Girls ended up writing my life story into the show. And I was also guest starring on Ed at the same time, reoccurring on that show. So I was doing Into the Woods, reoccurring on Ed, and then flew back to LA to do Gilmore Girls. It's pretty crazy. Crazy life, man.
Well, you got 2 diplomas. Doors are gonna.
No, what in the heck? That's crazy. And I'm not even a smart person.
They that's probably why everything took off so well for you. That's
yeah,
awesome.
right.
So now you're doing acting, and are you doing mainly TV, or are you doing big pictures?
I'm doing it all, man. I mean, I do some movies, I do commercials, I do guest star spots, I do voiceover work. I'm also getting kind of bigger on the TikTok. So I'm also a professional magician. So I use that in my sketches. It started out as kind of just a hobby while on set and doing theater, and then it became a second profession, which was totally unexpected, but for sure welcomed. And now I use both my acting and magic on social media, and that does super well, which is awesome because I just marry the 2 together.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's so much fun.
Okay, so we can't skip over the voice acting. I got to hear how, because obviously that's my side hustle, is voice acting.
Yeah.
And I love every minute of it. But so was it it's just kind of a natural transition, isn't it? Like, you always see like big actors doing, Honda commercials or whatever. Is that opportunity come just as any other job would, that, like you're booking a TV show and then all of a sudden, like, hey, we got this commercial, you want to give it a run? Or is it something where you're actively auditioning constantly? Because like I don't have an acting background, so I'm auditioning constantly for voiceover work.
Oh, same.
So you do. There's no
I've got 5 auditions I need to do today. Not gonna lie. Like I'm dead serious. My email, there's 5 of them that I have not submitted that I need to submit by Monday. It's just
all right.
Nuts.
Good to hear you're working like the rest of us. I love it.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. No, I'm not nearly in a level of any part of my work besides maybe local theater to be offered anything. It is, unless you're on a huge TV show, those opportunities aren't presenting themselves often. They were when I was on Picket Fences. I'm not going to lie, because I was a series regular on one of the best daytime, or one of the best, not daytime, but one of the best TV shows on. So that was a whole different story. But voiceover work started for me in a very interesting way. My first voiceover thing was The Swan Princess, and they needed a little boy who could sing and nail the acting parts, and they couldn't find one that sounded 6. So in walks me, a 6-year-old, 7-year-old at the time, going, yeah, I can sing and try to do this. And they ended up loving it. And there you go. That was kind of the start of my voiceover career, was kind of as a singer. And I've just been doing it ever since, and have gotten to do very iconic parts, such as Dennis and Dennis the Menace. I was Brainiac 5 in Legion of Superheroes. I was Curly in Hey Arnold. That was really fun growing up, and pretty iconic. But the most iconic is, of course, Peter Pan and Jake and the Neverland Pirates. So got to do that for be the voice of Peter Pan for like 5 years, and that was incredible.
That is a good gig right there. Wow.
Yeah, pretty cool.
That's cool. So did you kind of get into the Nickelodeon thing, and then all of a sudden, we have Peter Pan. Because I mean, I got to think once you're in that, in that, I don't want to say group, but once
circle,
they know what you're doing, you're going to get the call. I love that.
I mean, yeah, but you can also, the problem is a lot of the people I've worked with have since retired. So it's almost like I have to prove myself in a sense. So no matter what, voiceover is the tightest group I've ever seen in my life. It's easier to be in a Broadway show by a mile than to work constantly in voiceover. It is really the same 30 people on every project because they can disguise their voices so well and they're so good that they can do whatever. It's hard to insert yourself, even as somebody who constantly works in voiceover. I mean, my day job is magic and voiceover. That's like my side hustle as well. So it's crazy that it's such a small world, but it really is. A lot of people ask me, "Oh, I could do this from home. How do you get into voiceover?" And I go, "Well, first, it's called voice acting. So, do you know how to act? No, that's your step one. Well, I thought it was just doing voices. Well, it's voice acting. So we need to work on both.
Right.
We have to be talented at both. You got to be a talented actor and talented at doing voices.
Where do you get that? Like,
so let's try that.
Weeks, I think I probably hear that from people.
Yeah. Oh yeah. How do I get into it? It is very,
like
very difficult.
To record on their phone. Oh yeah. We record on the phone and whatever.
I tell people you have a better shot at being in a Broadway show than working consistently in voiceover, but here you go.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, and I everybody's got their grind, and it hopefully I want to be on Nickelodeon someday. I'm going to follow in your footsteps. That's what I'm after. Now, you've got a podcast. We'll get to that. I got to hear about this magic, man. There's nothing I love more than magic.
It's so fun.
So you just started while you're screwing around backstage with magic?
Kind of. I was doing a show called Oliver, the boy who wanted more. And I was very young. I was 5 at the time, and there happened to be a professional magician who had 3 of his children in the show. Showed all the kids a magic trick. I pestered him for the to do it again and again and again. He finally said, "Adam, it's not a puzzle. It's magic. It's designed for you to not figure out." He pulled me aside, showed me the trick, gave me the trick, and I went to a magic shop the next day. Literally, I wanted to go that night, but it was closed. And so I went the next day, bought a bunch of starter beginner tricks, and it launched from there. There was a period of time where I didn't do it a lot, and then in my late teens I picked it back up again and really decided to see how deep the rabbit hole goes, and it has been a constant amazing journey ever since.
Now, are you finding that your audience is on social media, like on TikTok or
No, it was a huge learning curve to get TikTok and Instagram to like my stuff. Originally, in person was where I slayed. And that is all thanks to my acting career. It taught me how to control an audience, how to just be so quick on my feet. I think my improv is like my strength in my magic, and being able to really tell the story of the trick and all of that stuff. And I became a world champion of strolling magic in 2019, and have my name etched on a trophy at the world famous Magic Castle in Hollywood. I've won 6 awards from there now, and 5 of them in strolling magic, and one of them was the Carl Ballantine Award for performance. This is all magic, yeah. And I'm performing still this month at the Magic Castle, August 26th through 29th. So if you're in the LA area and you know someone how to get in, come see me. And so it started out as live performing, and it started out with people that I was working with on television shows saying, "Hey, can you do my party?" I remember doing CSI Miami, and one of the cast members saying, "Hey, I'm having a Super Bowl party. Do you mind doing the halftime show?" Like, yeah, of course, no worries. Wow. And it was word of mouth, and it just grew and grew and grew until it became like an actual thing. And they were like, "Do you do this professionally?" I was like, "No." And I literally said no for years. And I've been doing it now for 16 years. And about half of those years I've been going, no, I'm not a professional. I'm a professional actor. I'm an amateur magician, blah, blah, blah. And people are like, you're not an amateur. You got to give yourself a little more credit. And here we are.
Really?
So it was a really crazy learning curve for social media because it is not the same as in person. You have to do more visual, sometimes very gimmicky stuff for people to actually watch the whole video.
So that's a whole nother world, isn't it?
Like, yeah, it's a completely different world.
I guess I just thought it would be the version of the trick, but in front of a camera. But no, you're right. You have to wow, that's a lot.
No one can pick a card for you. They can't name a card. You can't do things live. You have to figure out how to manipulate the trick to fit with something visual that people will watch. So I came up with the character Gladys, who is my constant person I do magic to, who kind of represents all of the weird, silly, fun things people say while I'm doing live performing. And she's my constant spectator. And I create little vignettes of sketch comedy through Gladys and my magic.
And this is all on TikTok, or is this a YouTube thing?
This is all on TikTok so far. Yeah, TikTok and Instagram. But TikTok, I think, is the biggest platform for me at the moment.
What, 660,000 followers on there?
It's at 750 now. It moved 100,000 in the last 2 days.
You're going to be on my show, so they're following you rapido. I love that.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
That's awesome. So what's the end goal then? You're gonna try and get a in-house in Vegas or what?
Oh God, no. That would be my worst nightmare. I don't want to ever be doing magic full time. I'm a much better actor, and it's so I owe everything in magic I have to the acting world. My end goal, believe it or not, is I wrote a pilot based around a magician, and I want to get that sold and get that on some kind of network. So if any of you out there are producers and you're looking for content that is scripted, that's amazing magic and hysterically funny, hit me up.
Man, as long as you got room for an overweight radio DJ in there somewhere.
Always.
That's my sweet spot. So how long is a traditional, like when you do a show, like in a whatever, what is that, 4 minutes? I mean, what do you do? Like, how long is a magic show?
Usually at the Magic Castle, in the showrooms, it's 17 minutes. It has to be between 15 and 20. For magic competitions, they have to be no longer than 8 minutes. And if you go over by a second, you're out. You will be disqualified. So a lot of people hire you for a private event and they say, can you do 45 minutes? And you're like, I can, but I got to tell you, that is a much longer show than you really think it is. That is a production. That's sitting down to a play. Like, you should probably have an intermission. That is a full-fledged production.
Give you a strong 32. That's it. No more.
I mean, the most common ask is 30, and 30 minutes of magic is super easy to hit. I get asked for it all the time. I ask how many people, and it depends on what show I do with how many people are there. I have 3 different versions of my 30-minute show. There's a kind of a more stage version. There's a parlor version and a close-up version. And it's totally fine. But like 15 minutes of magic will completely destroy your life. That is like the golden, like, wow, I've seen more than I need to.
Okay. That makes sense. But I wonder though, like, so the Magic Castle, forgive me for being unfamiliar in the magic world.
Most people are. It's all good.
Equivalent to like the Comedy Store, where there's all these rooms where people are doing magic?
Absolutely. So it is a mansion that is 5 floors big, and 4 of them are active that you can kind of visit. There are 3 main showrooms. There's a close-up gallery, which is 30 people, no more. And it's raked seating, and it's very intimate, where you're doing basically cards, coins, and mentalism, rubber band tricks, whatever you want. The next room is the parlor of prestidigitation, which is about 50 people. The biggest showroom is called the Palace, and that's where the illusions come into play, and all of that stuff. And that is a 45-minute show, however, split up between 3 magicians or one magician who has basically a Vegas act that they do. And then downstairs for overflow nights, there is a wonderful magician at the library bar. And then there's a theater called the Albert Peller. And the Albert Peller is two magicians or one magician also doing a 45-minute basically like stage show with full lighting and sound and all of that stuff.
You have to get past, like, how do you get into to work at the Magic Castle? Like,
there's an audition process with a group of magicians that have seen everything there is to see, and they will stare at you with a cold stare and let you know if you have passed or not. And then there's a separate audition to actually perform there. So there are different levels. You also don't have to be a magician to be a member. You can be an associate that's a fan of magic. What you have to do is write a 2-page essay on what magic means to you and why it's important.
Where's your commitment? Where's your level of commitment to the magic world? I love it.
Exactly.
Man, how long have you been going to the Magic Castle? And how long have you been?
11 years. I've been performing there for 11 years, since 2009. So 12 years. Oh my God.
So do you get paid?
Yep. You get paid by the week. So you're there Monday through Sunday, and they switch out magicians every single week at the Magic Castle. So yeah, it's a new set of magicians every week.
What's your sweet spot? Coins, cards? What do you?
Cards is my definite sweet spot. I think a lot of people would argue that coins and rubber bands are, but cards are definitely my first love. And what I mean, I could buy a deck of cards from Rite Aid, open them, and do a 3-hour show, no problem. Never repeat anything.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, easy.
You don't want to go big time like Vegas? Come on now.
No interest. And I'm going to tell you why. Doing just magic, I don't think like a magician. I think like an actor. And when I put together my show, it really kind of shows. With guys who really think like a magician, like I'm going to use like Johnny Ace Palmer or even Shin Lim or my friend Jeff Kaler. All of these guys, Shutagawa, they put together their show like magicians. They really do. And they think like magicians and they invent new things. And I think what will entertain the audience, I am doing it as a storyline from beginning, middle, and end. And they're thinking about it what are my best tricks?
Oh.
And I don't think like that. I think of how to segue and connect. I can connect on the fly. Like you give me 3 different tricks, I'll find a storyline that makes all of them make sense.
Oh, there you go. Okay. I've heard of that Shin Lim.
He's great, man. He's so good. So good. Yeah, he's been at the castle before. I mean, he's been a member forever, but he's incredible. He's got hands like a demon.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You guys do you guys have like a group chat with all the magicians in it where you kick around new trick ideas?
Kind of. I mean, sometimes we jam in session with like other magicians, but it's not like a set thing. It's more like hey, I'm gonna get together with like Eric Jones and like other people. You want to come hang out? Well, yeah, sure. Let's go jam.
So when you're at this jam and some other guy, Jones, we'll call him Jonesy, he's doing
Jonesy.
He's doing a trick. Do you automatically know how it works?
Sometimes.
Or do they
probably about 80% of the time you're like, oh, that's super cool, man. That's super inventive. And then about like 20% of the time you'll go, what the you need to show them what was that?
So so there's things that you guys don't even know.
Oh God, yeah. Like I'll watch Penn and Teller fool us and I don't know all of them. There's some things that like I know right off the bat that they're like, you fooled us. And I'm like, dude, that's Costa Camelot. Like I know exactly what he's doing. Because I do that in my show. I literally do something so similar in my show. And that just fooled Penn and Teller. And then there's some things that they're like, yeah, it's this. And I went, huh? No idea what you just said.
That's where, I again equated to comedy. Is there stealing of magic tricks? Like
stealing of magic is probably the easiest thing to do. There is no real way besides printing it in a DVD to credit a magician.
Right.
Lots of things are stolen. I've seen straight up acts with the exact patter, with the exact magic, the exact handling completely stolen. It is exactly like comedy. There's no real patent on jokes. There's no real patent on tricks. You just kind of honor it and know.
So tell me about the CW's Masters of Illusion.
Sure. So that's a TV show where the top 30 magicians in the world get together and make a TV show. So I did that for 5 years and toured all over the US.
As one of them
doing Comic-Cons as a magician. Yeah. And traveled with 4 of my buddies, and it was great. We kind of had a blast, and it was awesome, man. It's a great time.
Side hustle, and you're in the top 30 in the world.
You know, I try. I do a lot of things, man. I wear a lot of hats. What can I say?
That's impressive. I think that would give you the, I don't know. I'm pushing for Vegas. I'm not even going to take my 10%. I'm going to let you do it on your own. I think it's a great idea. So do you know, like Penn and Teller? Do you know these guys? Like,
I don't know. I don't officially know Penn and Teller. We have so many virtual friends or mutual friends. It's nuts, and friends who are like really close with them. So like I know other people like Ricky Jay. I knew, and you know, we would go to the same parties invited by other professional magicians all the time. David Copperfield, I know. Let's see, Lance Burton, Mac King, those are top guys. Chris Angel, I don't know him super personally, but we've met before. So it's like, you know,
is he kind of a weird dude in person?
Not really, to be honest. David Blaine is strange in person. Chris, not so much. Not a weird guy in person. My buddy Ben Seidman works closely with him. Michael Carbonaro is a good friend. I love that dude. And his Magic Castle show, I gotta say, is one of the cleanest, coolest magic shows I've ever seen. Justin Willman, also super great guy, super great in person. Great shows at the Magic Castle. Justin Willman from Magic for Humans. So, you know, a lot of these guys I see all the time.
That's awesome. That Carbonaro guy, I watched that show, and he's
so good.
Just frustrates me.
He's so good.
When you do that, then you kind of bring in the element of, well, it's TV, so they can do some tricks with TV, you know. But
yeah, and some of that is, I gotta say, not for the magic. They are purely for time and visual eye candy. Because if you actually saw the whole trick as is, and I do that a lot for TikTok, I've kind of learned that, where my cutaways aren't necessary, but they are only necessary to keep your interest in the video. So a lot of those cuts, they're not super necessary, but they are cutting out important things that do make it seem more impossible, but you kind of need that cutaway. Otherwise it's one shot and you're like, boring.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to check out the TikTok. I love this idea. I've never been on TikTok. I'm kind of a
TikTok is amazing. It gets such a bad rap for being such a young people app.
I know.
And I got to tell you, the algorithm will tailor whatever your interests are. And if you're not a person who is like enjoying the young people TikTok, it won't come up on your feed.
Really?
Yeah. So whatever videos you like, those hashtags will read and they'll come up. Really? So yeah.
I better get on
there. It gives you things you think you like. They think you like.
Huh. I love that idea. It's unlike these other ones where they throw stuff in front of you that you don't
just randomly.
Hey, tell me about your podcast. Is it called Backstage Pass?
Yeah. So my podcast is Backstage Pass with Justin and Adam. And we interview really cool people that are professionals from all walks of life. And it's like you're a fly on the wall sitting in the living room having a conversation with 3 people. It's great. It's a lot of fun.
How long have you been doing that?
We just started, so only about a couple months. Yeah, it's been really fun though.
Yeah, it's an interesting world, that's for sure. Is Justin? Do I know him from
Claypool? You don't. He is an Army guy that's had a lot of different jobs. He's been a chef. He's a professional photographer. He was a mechanic in the Army who served in Iraq, and he's just a dude who kind of took to podcasting like immediately, which is pretty crazy. He was just naturally good at it and naturally personable, and works with a lot of musicians from his photography. He shot a lot of concerts, so he knows a lot of people. And between the two of us, we know a lot of awesome, talented, amazing people. And we just have them on kind of one by one and just talk. It's great.
And that's cool. I like that idea of having different backgrounds, having diversity. My co-host, she's moving this week, so it's a whole thing.
Gotcha.
But it all comes around. Well, that's awesome, man. So where can people find you? Like TikTok or social media? What's your handle? Is that what
I try to keep them all uniform. So TikTok, Instagram, and Twitch is all at This Is Adam Wylie.
Oh, that's easy enough.
And,
findable.
Keep it all the same. That way it's not like, well, on this, I'm this, and this, I'm this, and this, it's too much. You keep it all the same. Good.
What are you working on now? Like, you got any big shows and movies in the hopper?
Yeah, well, I'm going to be on season 6 of Lucifer. And season 6 will drop on Netflix starting September 10th. Very excited about that. I'm on the animated series, The Animaniacs, so I do a couple voices on there. And I'm in the Netflix movie Mitchells versus Machines right now, and also Dark Power on Hulu. Super cool. And I've done some voices for a couple other shows that are on TV right now too, which is really fun. But Lucifer is like a legit acting, guest starring role. So yeah.
Season 6. Obviously there's a following there. You're gonna strike it rich on that one.
It's one of the first times I'm playing a magician, so that's pretty crazy and cool.
So how is that? Like, did they tell you?
Weird. Gotta tell you.
Really weird, but perfect role for you. How did they? Do they dictate which tricks you can do, or is it like
kinda? Yeah, they're saying, hey, again, it's for camera, so you're doing things that are much different than you would do in the human. So they're like, hey, can you just make something float in the background? Sure, I can do that. Great. And then when you cross camera for this scene before, like, we see you, sit down at the table, can you like do some type of card juggling flourish thingy? Sure. All right, great. So like, there's a bunch of times where I'm just like walking across screen doing this and then saying a line or like what have you. It's just,
Gosh, I gotta see it. Do I gotta start at season 1?
I don't know. The show's really good. So
and I'm working on one right now, and then maybe I'll move to that one because it'll time it.
There you go.
Do you wear a cape then when you do your show?
Oh God, no. That's a 1920s villain. So originally the top hat and cape and white gloves originated literally as 1920 silent movie villain. How it became magician, no idea. Tails and a top hat were common in the like 1930s and 40s for magicians. But no, man, I just wear a suit. That's it. Just a normal everyday suit. That is all that is required from modern day magicians, and even sometimes just street clothes, but usually like a nice shirt and a blazer, jeans, all good. But most magicians, especially at the Magic Castle, it's cocktail attire, suit and tie required. So you wear suit and tie, and that's it.
Do you have a deck of cards on you right now?
Usually I have one next to here. I can get one in about 3 seconds.
I got a trick. Hold on. Can you do a trick?
Over here.
As you can see, Adam's laundry's hanging.
I grabbed this one so fast, I do not even know if it's a full deck of cards. I have no idea, to be honest with you. I've got no flipping clue, but we'll figure it out, won't we? So I need you to name a card for me.
Ace of Spades.
You sure? It's pretty standard.
All right. 4 of clubs.
Wow. He said Ace of Spades, and then he goes with 4 of clubs. That's a big change. I'm going to actually I'm going to use both the Ace of Spades and the 4 of clubs in this effect. Which would you like to do first, the Ace of Spades or the 4 of clubs?
4 of clubs.
So you'd like to use the 4 of clubs first. Okay. So we'll take out just getting all of the 4s real quick. Okay, great, perfect. All of those. We'll get those out here. Now, because I don't have a huge stage, this isn't going to be like the most visual thing ever. But let me see. Okay, so this might be weird because of my little kind of blurry background. But we have all of the 4s inside a normal deck of cards. I'm going to take those 4s and kind of flip them face down one at a time. So you'll see the 4 of diamonds will flip face down. And then, whoa, hi, hello, testing. Then you'll see the 4 of hearts flip face down. The 4 of spades flip face down, and the 4 of clubs. I'm going to get rid of the rest of the cards until my mic falls down. Hold on. Right there.
Limited space. This happens.
Limited space. With the 4 of clubs, everything face. You know what? We're going to flip that 4 of clubs since you named it so great. Face up. That way we'll see all of it. Watch very carefully. I'm just going to spread out the rest of the 4s like this. Keep your eye on the 4 of clubs because in a second it's not going to look the same. Because all of those 4s were in fact actually aces the entire time. And that's it. That's how you do.
I got it on tape now. I can rewind it.
How you do it. Pretty crazy.
Holy shit.
It's nuts.
That's awesome.
Sorry about the blur.
No, I'm so magically challenged that I'm just, as you can tell, I'm just, all over this because I don't know anything about magic other than it's awesome when it's done right. Just the way you handle it.
It's pretty darn fun.
You're a professional.
Oh, thank you. It's pretty fun. It's different, it's definitely different. And there are definitely like levels. A lot of people hire magicians, and I gotta say, what you pay for is what you get. And you don't really notice it until you see somebody of a different level, right? So like a lot of people for private parties will be like, well, I have a magician that'll do 3 hours for $200. And I'm like, okay, well, hire that magician then. That's amazing. And that's great. But when you see that versus somebody who will charge quadruple that price, you go, oh, I know why.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh, that's very different. Wow. It's a very different level. And
it's still like, equated to like a musician when you got to sing "Shout at the Devil" one more time. Like,
yes, Free Bird. All that stuff. Like, oh God.
So is it like, oh shit, I got to do that one where I change the 4 of clubs into the ace again? Or every time
usually when I do something that amazes people, and it's usually teenagers, they go, show that trick to my friend. Hey, show this trick to my friend. Hey, show this trick. And all of a sudden you're doing that one trick 90 times, and it's only requested because somebody has seen it before. Right. So I do a trick where I break into people's iPhones and I get their iPhone passcode. Once I do it once, you can't do my phone. I'll bet you can't do my phone. I bet you can't do my phone. 9 phones later, I'm like, I'm done. I am done. I can't do this anymore. Oh no, I got to change my passcode. I've done it 9 times. I don't remember yours. Come on.
I love it.
It's like 12 times a night. How would I remember? Yours is like 652-137. Like, I don't know.
You should change it because it's dumb, not because I know it. Yeah. What do you when do you know that a trick's ready to go? Like in comedy, it's like, all right, so I go and work it out at this place and it's funny, so we go. But when do you know, like, okay, I think I could do this? Because if you don't do it right, like that one you just did for me, like if there's a glitch, then I'm gonna be like, oh, dude, that was dumb. Like
I get it smooth for myself first, right? I practice in front of a mirror so that I can't tell what's going on, so that I'm hiding every nook and cranny, right? Then I'll do it for somebody. And if that somebody goes, huh? Let me see that again. Then you do it for more people. The better the reaction you get, the more you go, I've got something here. Like I have a trick where that I'm avoiding putting in my show. And every time I do it, people literally run. And I'm like, why? But there comes a point where you have to understand that it's magic for somebody else. Doesn't matter what you think of it. if somebody else is reacting to it in a very positive, strong way, it's got to go in the show. That trick is now going in the show because I can't avoid that people are losing their minds.
Wow, man.
And I don't think it's great.
Well, yeah, there you go. That's kind of like when I do a joke. If I bounce it off my wife and she doesn't like it, then I know it's good. If she laughs, then it's probably just an average joke.
Yeah, exactly. It's so true.
That's awesome, man. You have been a joy. I'm telling you, I was so excited to talk to you about, the voiceover thing. Obviously, I've got a connection there, but the magic.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be a kid and see magic. It's the greatest thing.
It is. It makes you feel like a kid inside. I love it.
It's fun. It's fun for everyone. So we gotta wrap this up. Everybody go look at the TikToks for Mr. Wylie. What's the cut code again? Your handle?
At this is Adam Wylie.
Go check.
All one word, by the way.
All one word. Follow him on TikTok wherever you can, and get over to the Magic Castle. It sounds awesome. Come on. And that's in Hollywood.
That is. It's right behind Hollywood and Highland on Franklin, and it's right there.
Man, you can just
right off of Orange and Franklin.
Go in, just pay the fee and go in.
No, you have to have a pass by a member who gives you one, and then you have to go in and you have to meet the dress code requirements and all these things. And because of COVID, you have to know 24 hours in advance, and you have to, you have to be invited by a member or walk in with a member. And it's also a dinner. So most of the time you also have to make dinner reservations unless you're walking in with a member. So it's a deal. It's like a deal.
Country club for magicians.
That's exactly what it is.
Oh my gosh! Now I'm gonna have to get in touch.
It's exclusive, man.
I'm gonna go as your guest. I'm telling. I didn't know it was that way. Wow, that's a big operation to be exclusive.
Yeah, you can't just walk in. You can't just go, "What's this place?" and walk in. They won't let you in. They'll be like, "Nah,
grab my stuff.
Go away, bro."
Go in.
Yeah.
We're gonna stop for a burger. We're just gonna come in for 1 second. We just want to see what the thing is. He's a man chef, but it doesn't look big. They say it's big. It doesn't look big.
I heard Adam Wylie's gonna be in here.
What's that? Never heard of him before.
He's good.
Oh, is he that kid from the thing? Oh, isn't he? Oh, he's an adult. He's done things as an adult too.
Bigger?
I don't know him. I don't know. I don't know who he is. He's a short guy. Still looks like
Can't come in, ma'am, without a member. Sorry. Go home. That's what we're gonna hear. Anyway, thank you for the time, Adam. All my
time.
Gonna love this. They're gonna go find you. I'm sure that's why you jumped the 100,000. Is my
absolutely. It's all from this second, actually.
So we thank you, sir. We will wrap this up right here. Let me get that done. There, good. Hey, man, that's great. I love that shit, man.
I appreciate it.
Pull me away. I was paying attention, and it just happened.
It's a fun, little deal to be able to just take anything you want and make it kind of happen. It's good. It's a good time.
Bored, are you?
I mean, I'm bored just like anybody else, I gotta tell you, but yeah.
You can only roll the coin so many times.
You can only do it so much. You can only make it disappear and reappear in somebody's butt so many times.
Let me stop this. Oops.